Let's talk about this ice bucket challenge for ALS. It has raised millions of dollars for ALS research, but the goal is not just to find a cure, it's also for patient care. Let's talk about that. Joining us right now to talk about that is from the ALS Association Michigan Chapter, Executive Director Paula Morning. So Paula, thanks for coming in.
Good morning, thank you.
It's an important conversation to have because we see a lot of people dumping ice water on their heads,
Yes.
and you have to be blown away by what has happened in the past couple weeks. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is absolutely stunning. It is amazing, and it is just a phenomenon that no one could have expected.
Who would think? Yeah, it started by really a couple of men, and now it's just gone viral, and it's had such a good impact. Now, it's raised a lot of money. We're hearing about $23 million or so.
Yes, that's it.
How does that affect the research happening here in Michigan, or does it?
It does. Our national association is the one that basically reviews all research applications, and there has been significant and ongoing research on ALS within Michigan for the last several years.
Okay, now let's talk about what ALS is and why it's so devastating, because up until now, really, it hasn't gotten a lot of attention. Everyone knows of it as Lou Gehrig's disease because Lou Gehrig, the baseball player, one of the first most famous people to have it. What happens to your body with ALS?
ALS is basically a fatal neuromuscular disease. It has to do with the feigning of muscles. Really, over a period of time, a person loses their ability to speak, and they lose their ability to walk, and eventually, essentially what happens is the person's motor ability, all voluntary muscles are affected, and respiratory issues are generally the final chapter in a person's life.
Yeah, eventually you can't breathe,
Eventually
you can't eat,
cannot breathe.
Can't walk, can't talk, can't breathe.
Yeah.
Right now there is no cure, but there's some great research happening. I did a story with Dr. Eva Feldman at the University of Michigan studying stem cell transplants, and we've got some great research happening right here in Michigan. Are we close, or what do you see? Do you see any progress in finding a cure for this?
Well, I think that researchers like Dr. Feldman are very cutting edge, and I think that our hope for a cure comes from research very much like or very similar to what she's doing, if not what she's doing. I think that there are so many possibilities. What this opportunity with all this funding will do is give everybody a chance that really wants a chance and is a valid opportunity for them to do the research that's needed, and there's so much research that's still needed.
Yes, and that's how all this money translates into saving lives. It goes to these researchers who are in the lab day after day doing all kinds of things, and then eventually you hope you can figure out how to turn off a gene mutation or something to figure this out. Are you, have you gotten any backlash from this Ice Bucket Challenge, people saying you're trivializing ALS? Or?
You know what, I have heard of a couple of things like that, but honestly, I can tell you we've received probably several hundred calls about the Ice Bucket Challenge across the state of Michigan, and it really comes from our patients and their family members and caregivers, and I think what overshadows any of that is the thrill and the hope that they feel for the future. And this is the first and one of the brightest rays that we've had in a very, very long time. So, I mean, I know that there can be negatives, but we choose to look at it as an opportunity just to enhance what we've always been here to do. We have mission priorities. Our mission priority as an organization is really around research, patient care, and advocacy. And those three things will all be enhanced by the Ice Bucket Challenge.
All right, so keep dumping that water on your head and keep donating is really the idea. Paula, thank you so much for being here today.
Really appreciate it.
And we'll put a link to the Michigan chapter. If you're writing a check like Jason is, we'll put a link on our website, myfoxdetroit.com, where to send that check. We'll be back.